What if I told you that the world changes its pace the moment you walk into a room? That walls remember how to breathe, the air stops bracing, and even silence begins to trust itself again? You don't announce your arrival, yet something in your energy tells the space that danger has left. The floor steadies, the hallway slows, the chairs seem to lean toward conversation instead of performance. You think you're just passing through, thinking about errands or the weather, but your calm presence is already rewriting the atmosphere. The nervous systems around you recognize it before the minds do. Shoulders loosen, jaws release, and people begin to remember what it feels like to breathe without defense. That chosen one is what true safety feels like when it wears no costume. You don't posture to make this happen. Your eyes aren't rehearsed. Your steps aren't strategic. You simply exist with a quiet agreement to gravity, and that agreement gives permission to everyone else to let their guard down. Women who've learned to read danger before they read faces feel it first, deep in the wordless parts of their bodies. Their breath goes lower. Their hearts stop scanning. The room exhales because you walked in. You don't try to control attention. You release it. You look the way light behaves, revealing, never claiming. Your gaze doesn't divide a woman into pieces to be priced. It gathers her whole being into dignity. For a moment, she was planning exits, decoding tone, paying the silent taxes the world demands of women. Then your presence edits the air. The exits become just doors again. Her tone softens into something real. The invisible cost disappears. You don't even know you've done it. She just knows her body is no longer budgeting vigilance. Your security lives in texture, not words. The half step you take at a doorway, the pause that lets someone pass, the way your hands become useful before they become busy. You fix small frictions quietly. A chair straightened, a door guided shut with grace, a question phrased with clarity, so no one has to guess what you mean. You never ask for applause, but every small act lowers the cost of being alive for someone else. Beauty that's had to survive in harsh rooms recognizes a habitat in your decency. What feels ordinary to you feels like safety to her. You've mastered the quiet art of leaving before kindness runs out of breath. You end your evenings while warmth still has posture. You let humor land, without wounding anyone to make it memorable. You say yes only when you can keep it, and know early enough that resentment never has to translate it later. These aren't rules, they're oxygen. They make desire survivable. They make connection gentle enough to repeat. If someone asked you why people relax around you, you'd shrug. You'd say you just washed the cup, replied to the text, thanked someone by name, ended a story before truth bent under its weight. But what you don't see is that every one of those small gestures builds a climate of safety. You didn't curate this energy. You cultivated it. Curation asks, how can I look like safety? Cultivation asks, how can I become the kind of person who no longer requires others to carry my chaos? You chose cultivation, and it shows in how your anger knows its boundaries, how your apologies show up as changed behavior, how your boundaries swing like doors instead of standing like walls. You don't audition for trust, you live it. That's why people remember how they feel around you even when they forget your words. They remember that their breath came back, that their bodies stopped defending themselves. Your calm travels when you're gone. A friend ends a conversation while tenderness still has energy. A sister borrows your phrase, "Would it help if I?" and offers it to someone else. A stranger writes a kinder message because your steadiness reminded her that decency scales. You don't see any of it. You're tying your shoes or rinsing a bowl, but echoes carry your note. It's steady. It tells the world. The ground will hold. You keep walking as you walk. You let water reach you before opinions do. You let wise counsel interrupt you before the crowd can. You leave rooms cleaner than you found them in ways that don't need applause. You won't always know what your presence does, and that's fine. The measure is hidden but sure. Where you stand, beauty stops bracing and starts being. The market has no word for it, but the heart does. The heart calls it safe. Chosen one, there's a kind of strength that makes noise, and another that makes peace. You are building the second kind, the kind that prevents fires instead of performing rescues. The world praises the loud kind, but real safety rarely needs an audience. You wear it quietly, like a well-made coat that vanishes when it fits. Women who have built second spines just to move through life sense your calm and let theirs rest. They can't explain it, but they trust the evening will end gently, that silence won't be punishment, that boundaries won't be used as weapons. You carry a shield you rarely raise, because discipline has already done the guarding. Your rituals, sleep that returns patience, water that cools words, counsel that corrects you, rest that refuses to sell your soul to urgency, are sandbags against the flood. You have quietly decided to be someone who doesn't make others manage your weather. That decision is a service to humanity. It keeps your power proportional. It lets humor stay kind, intellect stay useful, and desire stay deliberate. This is the weight others lean on without realizing it. It's the ballast that keeps the table from wobbling. You don't make conflict dramatic. You make it navigable. When harm happens, you aim at the harm, not the human. You raise your voice only as high as truth needs to travel. You ask, what can we change so this won't happen again? Repair matters to you more than reputation. Because of that, people learn that honesty doesn't have to cost peace. Fear leaves, trust moves in. You don't talk about reliability. You practice it. You arrive when you say you will, with the attention you promise. You decline with kindness that keeps the bridge intact. You end while tenderness still has breath. You don't make anyone guess your intentions. You name your hunger and teach it to speak clearly, so it stops confusing appetite with entitlement. People build around your steadiness like a geometry that finally fits. You are ballast in human form. A single sentence from you can save a server from humiliation, a meeting from chaos, or a home from quiet neglect. None of this makes headlines, but all of it keeps the roof on. The women who feel safer near you aren't confusing gentleness for weakness. They're recognizing a strength that no longer hungers. You've learned to feed yourself on work that matters, rest that restores, friendships that tell you the truth, and joy that doesn't need an audience. You no longer recruit others to sustain your flame. So when you draw near, her body writes a quiet note. It's safe to stay as I am while I decide whether to come closer. The world runs on scarcity. You move in stewardship. Scarcity consumes. Stewardship cultivates. That is what makes you rare. Your strength moves like choreography. The body understands. Shoulders awake but unarmed. Jaw unclenched so words can be chosen, not discharged. You stand at thresholds like someone who knows they are sacred. Your touch, when invited, feels like a question, not a claim. Your patience is a promise you never have to say aloud. Your power lives not only in what you do, but in what you refuse. You refuse sarcasm disguised as wit. urgency pretending to be importance, privacy turned into bait, and clarity that others have to pay for. Every refusal lightens someone else's load. They won't know exactly what changed. They'll only notice that, for once, their day didn't build them twice. You might call this kindness, but it's more. Niceness bends to be liked. Strength stands to be useful. You don't need to be the center to be essential. You let results, not commentary, speak. A child gravitates towards you without knowing why. An elder hands you keys without needing to explain. A woman trusts silence because she knows you won't break it with something she'll have to forgive later. None of this is spectacle. It's the quiet dividend of a man who carries what he can so others don't have to carry what they shouldn't. To keep that weight honest, keep your rituals. Whisper the small prayer at every doorway. Let me lower the cost of being human here. Keep the friend who can tell you when you drift. Keep the water before the opinion, the gratitude before the analysis, the early goodbye that protects the night's best part, and the apology that changes behavior, not headlines. Chosen ones don't grow heavy by accident. They are weighted by daily vows kept in silence. You don't need to advertise your impact. It's written in what's left behind. A smoother room, a joke that didn't wound, a plan that ended in peace, a message sent before anxiety had to wonder, a woman breathing deeper somewhere between hello and goodbye. That is the map your strength draws. You rarely read it because you're already walking toward the next place that needs steadiness. Walk there at your merciful pace. Let the loud versions of strength chase applause. Yours already has work. The people who feel safest near you, many who will never say it, are your quiet choir, choosing you again and again because your gravity makes their lives lighter. There is a physics to peace, and you embody it. It isn't volume, it's mass. You don't bring thunder, you anchor the weather, and wherever you stand, beauty stops bracing and starts becoming. The question lands softly and lingers. In its quiet, she hears a rare promise that what she says next will be received, not judged. Where that promise lives, storms lose their force. Your stillness isn't performance. It's the sound of a life that chose peace over impressing. You've practiced small kindnesses, ending moments before they sour, saying the truth now instead of apologizing later, opening and closing doors without testing love. These quiet habits have given your presence gravity. She can lean towards you without fear you'll shift to seem larger. Silence, so nervous in most places, feels safe in yours. You let it breathe. You let laughter pass without trapping it for display. You let pauses do their work. In that atmosphere, her storm subsides. Waves that once rose for attention settle into truth. She looks for the price of this calm, but finds none. True ease feels suspicious to those who have bought counterfeits. Yet her breathing soon adjusts to it. You are not cold. You are simply grounded, moved by beauty without needing to own it, touched by grief without turning it into theater, stirred by desire without losing your center. When your eyes meet hers, the message is clear. I am here for truth, not performance. That unspoken permission steadies her. You think it's nothing, but that's why it's priceless. The world sells charm and imitates depth, but it can't manufacture peace. Yours comes from simple disciplines. Water before words, breath before reaction, rest before ambition. Because of this, rooms calm when you enter, or body remembers safety. Shoulders drop, Hands unclench. Her voice returns to its true pitch. She stops scanning for exits because your gaze doesn't trap her. This isn't magic. It's relief. Your stillness holds contradictions without needing to fix them. When she's strong, it frames her power. When she's soft, it makes space. When she's empty, it turns the hour gentle. She tests it, and it holds. Sometimes your peace looks like logistics, keeping your word, ending the night early, saving others from confusion. Ordinary things with sacred effects. They remind people that calm exists. Keep your peace too precious to trade for applause. Stillness isn't the absence of motion, it's mastery over it. The goal isn't to stop storms, but to be the harbor that welcomes them. Your calm is that harbor. Ships come and go, and you offer the same gift, a place to breathe without shame. You expect no gratitude, no story, no reward. This is how men who don't know they provide safety keep others alive. There are languages older than words. Your eyes speak one. They say, I will not use you to feel important. I can be moved without turning you into a stage. You don't perform these meanings. You live them. Many eyes search and take. Yours invite and rest. Under their light, beauty stands where it stands. She feels it. Her armor loosens. Her breath slows. Your gaze is safe because you've removed hunger from it. Not desire, just need. You've fed yourself with work, rest, and truth, so your eyes don't graze on people. They see without claiming. It's the difference between a hand that holds and one that harvests. You listen without collecting, observe without judging. When she speaks, you let her words land. If silence comes, you let it live. If pain appears, you don't turn it into content. Your attention is stewardship, holding space so others can rest. Safety isn't closeness without harm. It's distance without guilt. You honor privacy. You don't force revelation. In your presence, sharing becomes easy instead of costly. You treat beauty as grace, not currency. You let it exist. The difference feels like shade in heat. Your face carries that same honesty. No smirk, no mask, no calculation, just presence. Conversation becomes a place, not a performance. When truth is needed, your eyes sharpen with clarity. When it's spoken, they soften for repair. People remember that your presence didn't wound them. This peace was built through small, quiet choices. Noticing without recording, gratitude before analysis, rest before depletion. Clear eyes tell the truth without cutting. The world will try to teach tactics, to turn your sincerity into tricks, but people always feel the residue. Keep your attention sacred. Look at others as if they matter right now. Make the moment cheaper for the heart. And when she catches your eyes and feels peace, don't mistake it for duty. You're not her rescuer. You're her rest. The difference keeps your strength from becoming a cage. The safety you bring isn't a vow. It's a climate. Walk with that climate in your gaze. Let it say that softness won't be punished, strength won't be feared, and truth won't need to audition. Let it remind your own soul that seeing is a devotion, not a tactic. Live this long enough, and you'll see. Wherever your eyes rest, life chooses to stay. For a brief moment in a loud world, she was safe. Sanctuary isn't a place. It's a persuasion the body believes when it stops bracing. You have become that persuasion quietly, in the tone of your voice, the patience in your silence, the lightness of your strength. She steps into your presence, and everything changes. Noise fades, breath deepens, beauty stops performing. It simply exists, and in that stillness, she understands. Sanctuary was never somewhere to go, it was someone to meet.